Okay. So your son is living elsewhere. How do you feel about that?
My son living elsewhere makes me a nervous wreck. I'll give you a very good example. He is currently staying with his stepmom. He has been out of his blood thinners for 2 weeks. He's not had a shower in a month. He runs out of medications and doesn't get them filled. He stays sick a whole lot. And when he's alone, he lives inside his head and it makes him very emotional. I spend a lot of time on the phone and running back and forth because he's not taking care of himself. To make matters worse, he also smokes a lot of marijuana and does a lot of stuff that puts himself at risk with regards to his behaviors, and I worry.
So, so you are worried about your son living elsewhere?
I am. I am very worried. It would be different if he took better care of himself than what he does, but because of his mental health, it's like the domino effect. When you're a mental mess, you don't take care of your physical part, and then when you're a physical mess, it affects your mental part.
Mm-hmm.
And so it worries me and frustrates me.
Frustrated. Okay, on a scale between 1 and 10, how frustrated do you feel?
About 11.
So you are above.
The frustration level, I think about him at work. When I don't hear from him, I get worried. When he doesn't answer his phone, I get worried. And even when he does answer the phone, there's that tone where you just know as a mother when something is wrong.
So what I'm hearing, you've stated that when he's living with you, you're worried,
Mm-hmm.
and even with he's now not living with you, you're worried and frustrated. So why do so what do you think will calm your frustration and your worry?
I talk to people about my frustrations, mostly my daughter. My daughter and I have pretty much been the ones to care for his son, my grandson. And so I talk to her a lot about it. And even though we know he may be a mess in some aspects, we also know what his strengths are and what uplifts him, and his son uplifts him. And even when I know that he has issues, I still send my grandson over there because it gives him a little boost. It kind of gives him that piece of joy that he's missing. And we give him an opportunity to stay the weekend over there. And my grandson does a pretty good job with helping to care for him. But then there are just days where it's just too hard for him, and he'll call me and tell me to come get him because he just can't care for him. And so that's one of the things I do is send Javion over, or I talk to my daughter. I have a Narcotics Anonymous sponsor that I talk to about some things when it bothers me. And then when it's time for bed, I went through a phase where I turned my phone off or turned it down because he was doing okay for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he started having issues again, I leave my phone up at night.
Okay. So I'm hearing that you do talk to people about how you feel.
I do.
Do you have your daughter and your sponsor that you can talk to when you're frustrated and worried? So do they give you good advice or?
Sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes I don't want advice. I just want someone to listen like a sounding board.
Okay.
And there are some times where I talk and I have a solution for my own problem. I'll talk myself into the issue and then back out.
Okay.
And then there are just some times where I get advice and I may follow it.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are just those times where sometimes advice given kind of pisses me off.
Mm-hmm.
And I get mad because I think it's because they're not telling me what I want to hear.
Okay.
I'm a helicopter mom.
Okay.
And so even though I know my kids are capable of taking care of things, I still do it.
Okay.
So
Okay. So it seems like that you still do a lot for your children.
probably more than I should.
Okay. Do you feel as though that adds more to your plate?
It does.
It does.
And I don't. I can't tell you that I don't know why. I know why I do it. I do it because it feels good to be needed. It feels good to be wanted. It feels good that my children are back into my life after being gone for so long. I do it because there's that power in me that says I do it just because I can.
Okay.
So I know why I do it.
Okay. So I hear you saying that you also think about it. The things that you do. You at nighttime you'll think about things. Uh, have you ever did any journaling?
I used to journal a lot. I don't journal like I used to anymore.
Okay. I have a suggestion. I have something that I would like for you to do for you.
Okay.
I have some homework for you.
Okay.
What I would like for you to do is get your journaling book,
Okay.
and I want you, whenever you are feeling upset or you feeling overwhelmed, um, journaling can help, at times. So what I would like for you to do is start keeping a journal.
Okay.
Uh, I would like for you to journal daily. I would like you to journal your feelings,
Okay.
and I would like for you to journal. I want you to put daily. I want you to put a scale between 1 and 10, with 1 the lowest, 10 the highest, of how you felt that day.
Okay.
And when we meet again, I would like for you to bring your journal with you, and you can see, and we can look back and see how many days during that week that that your frustration was higher than other days, and what might trigger that uh, frustration.
Okay.
Do you think that that will work for you to be able to do that?
I can try. That's kind of how I ended up getting away from journaling in the first place. Is I started and then I stopped, and I started and then I stopped. And I think time management's an issue for me.
Mhm.
And I also think that sometimes I get frustrated with journaling because I'll go back and read what I wrote and I literally piss myself off.
Okay.
So yeah, I got away from the journaling thing, and um, I'll try.
Okay.
So I'll try. Sure will.
Okay. Uh,
Now
so
nobody's gonna read my journal but you and me, right?
that's correct.
Okay.
We'll sit here together and we'll go through it. And I'm not going to read it.
Okay.
I basically want to see the scores that you have for your frustration.
Okay.
And we'll see it, how it balances out. How many days of the week are you frustrated, and how many days of the week are your frustrations lower,
Okay.
so that we can work on your depression.
Okay.
Because when you first came in last week, you talked about that you was depressed. Okay, and so we're going to continue working on, ways to uh, try to deal with your depression that you're feeling.
Okay.
Okay, and I
Sure.
think journaling will help a lot with your depression,
Okay.
which the frustration, could be from, you know, uh, all that you're going through, you
Okay.
know, and it seems as though that you have a lot on your plate, and
I
I
do.
understand, and can also be a relaxing experience for you.
Okay.
Okay,
Sure.
so we'll meet again next week,
Okay.
and we'll continue from there.
Sounds great.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.